things are moving so fast now. Things moved on this so fast today that you actually have to note that that interview was done before the Senate postponed its vote. The Senate tonight decided to postpone its vote. They had been due to vote on the Syria issue Wednesday. That plan changed today after all the options on the table seemed to change. Now that Russia and Syria have unexpectedly pounced on John Kerry's remark that Syria might avoid a U.S. military strike by handing over and destroying all its chemical weapons, now that that possibility is out there and Russia and Syria are making positive notions about that, the Senate is delaying its vote to see what happens next. And that means that all of the speculation about what happens in our Congress on this issue and what happens between our Congress and our president on this issue, that all now gets put on hold and potentially gets reset. And here, this is the important part. Here is maybe how it gets reset. On Thursday last week, this did not get that much attention at the time, but on Thursday last week, Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, the Democratic senator, said he would vote no on the Syria authorization that the Senate was considering. But he said he had a different idea for what he would support. Joe Manchin said if the real problem is chemical weapons and the real problem is Syria being an outlaw nation when it comes to chemical weapons, well, why don't we tell the Syrians that, yeah, we will use military force against them unless they stop being a chemical weapons outlaw? Let's be specific. Let's use all our threats and leverage, not to say we disapprove of something they've already done, but instead to force Syria to get better on this issue. Senator Manchin's proposal was that we use all of our powers of threat and persuasion to persuade Syria to sign on to the international ban on chemical weapons that Syria has never signed before. And now today, Syria says it just might sign on to the international ban on chemical weapons that it has never signed before. Syria's best friend, Russia, saying that, in fact, Syria will sign on to that ban. And Syria will allow the international community to take all of its chemical weapons and destroy them. And Syria seems to be going along with what Russia says here. And that is why everything changed today in Washington. And that is why the Senate has delayed its vote. And the U.S. government and the president say now that the only reason this progress was made is because of the threat of U.S. military force seeming real in this case. And they're saying that is what Russia and Syria responded to. And if it is up to the guy who I guess saw this coming, then the Senator Joe Manchin path out of here, the way forward, is that the U.S. and the Senate and the president should change tack to reflect this progress today. Say yes to this offer from Syria and Russia. Say yes to this offer from Syria to come in from the cold and hand over their chemical weapons. Lead the world in universal approval of that move. See to it that it happens and save the prospect of the use of force for if they don't follow through. If the world-riveting problem, if the problem the U.S. cannot ignore is chemical weapons, then what happened today should be and will be seized on as a way to fix that problem. Not symbolically, but actually. And not alone, but in concert with a unified international community. That was not possible before today, and all of a sudden, that is the thing that is at hand. Opportunities like this do not come along very often. But the world will hang on the words of President Obama in his White House speech tomorrow to see if and how he seizes this opportunity that has come his way. This is a big deal. Watch this space.